Foundation Level Objective 1.5.3 K2. Distinguish the benefits and drawbacks of independence of testing. First question, which of the following best explains the benefit of independence of testing? Let's look at the options one by one. Option A, the use of an independent test team allows project management to assign responsibility for the quality of the final deliverable to the test team. This is not correct. Quality should be the responsibility of everyone, not just the test team. Option B, if a test team external to the organization can be afforded, then there are distinct benefits in terms of this external team not being so easily swayed by the delivery concerns of project management and the need to meet strict delivery deadlines. Do we need to explain why this is wrong? Any team involved in the project is obligated to follow the deadlines, whether this team is internal or external. Option C, an independent test team can work separately from the developers, need not be distracted with project requirement changes, and can restrict communication with the developers to defect reporting through the defect management system. Again, any team involved with the project should be aware of any changes to the requirements. Actually, it would be a disaster if any team was not fully aware of all the changes and still worked with the old obsolete requirements. So this option is also incorrect. We are left with option D, so this should be correct. Let's confirm. When specifications contain ambiguities and inconsistencies, assumptions are made on their interpretation. So far, this is correct. When something is not clear or mentioned in the requirements, the developers and the testers assume what's missing. An independent tester can be useful in questioning those assumptions and the interpretation made by the developer. This is also correct. If we have someone like an independent tester who would ask the developers about their assumptions, it would be useful to verify such assumptions. The correct answer is D. Let's look at the second question. Which of the following statements about the independence of testing is correct? Option A, independent testers will find defects due to their different technical perspective from developers, but their independence may lead to an adversarial relationship with the developers. This sounds correct. One of the primary benefits of independence in testing is that testers are more likely to identify different types of failures and defects compared to developers due to their varied backgrounds, technical viewpoints, and potential biases, including cognitive bias. However, the main disadvantage of independence in testing is that testers may become isolated from the development team, leading to communication problems, a lack of collaboration, and potentially an adversarial relationship, with testers being blamed for delays and bottlenecks in the release process. Option B, developers' familiarity with their own code means they only find a few defects in it. However, their shared software background with testers means these defects would also be found by the testers. The first half of the sentence, developers' familiarity with their own code means they only find a few defects in it, is incorrect. When I know what I am looking at, I can see what is wrong with it, and I can find faults in it. Developers and testers generally find various flaws due to their diverse backgrounds. So, this option is incorrect. Option C, independent testing requires testers who are outside the developer's team and ideally from outside the organization. However, these testers find it difficult to understand the application domain. Independent testing does mean that it brings testers from outside the development team or the organization. But that doesn't mean that the independent testers lack domain knowledge. Option D. Testers from outside the developer's team are more independent than testers from within the team. But the testers from within the team are more likely to be blamed for delays in product release. The first half is correct. Testers from outside the developer's team generally more independent than testers from within the team. The second half is incorrect. Testers from within the development team are part of the team. The team will not blame each other. But when the testers are from outside the team, they will be easier to blame. So, this option is incorrect. So, the correct answer is A. Last question. Given the following benefits and drawbacks of the independence of testing, which are most likely to be considered benefits? We have 5 options, so as usual we will pick one that is either a benefit or a drawback. First option. The testers work in a different location from the developers. This is about the co-location of the team. I don't know what this has to do with independent testing, so I will leave it for now. Option 2. Testers question the assumptions programmers make while writing code. Challenging assumptions between the developers and testers is for sure a benefit of independent testing. If option 2 is correct, then the correct answer is either B or D. Looking at B and D, we realize that option 3 is the decisive point as option 5 is shared between B and D. Option 3. A confrontational dynamic has been established between testers and developers. When the testing and development teams are not cooperating and treat each other as opposite teams, conflicts happen and result in confrontational debates, which means angry arguments and blaming each other. Of course, this is not a good thing. So, this is a disadvantage of independent testing, saying that the correct answer is B. To confirm, let's look at option 4. Developers have convinced themselves that testers are mostly accountable for quality. This is a disadvantage of independent testing. The more independent the testers are from the developers, the more the developers believe that quality is not their problem and it's the testing team's responsibility. Option 5. Testers have different biases than those held by the developers. One of the main benefits of independence in testing is that testers are more likely to find different sorts of failures and faults compared to developers due to their varying experiences, technical viewpoints, and potential biases, including cognitive bias. If we go back to option 1, collocating the testers away from the developers to promote independent testing will lead to miscommunication issues. So, this is a disadvantage of independent testing. So, yes, the correct answer is B.